I moved here to Knoxville to be close to my granddaughters. I started my own daycare in my little house. So we would come to this park all the time, and I just felt that this is a wonderful place to be, not for me and my granddaughters, but for all people who live in the neighborhood.
Margaret is just extraordinary. From her earliest days in the neighborhood, she just comes in and looks around and thinks, how can we make this better?
This park looked like very neglected and abandoned. I brought it up to the Old North Knoxville neighborhood group, and I became active pretty quickly. They were a group of people who became really supportive of what I wanted to do and what I have in mind. And the leader of the park recreation, Cheryl Eli, came to some of the events that we planned here, and she was able, within her budget, to fix up the playground a little bit. So there is now like an edge around the swing set, and they put up 2 baby swings instead of the other ones that were all the same. And they put up a new ground cover, and then the neighborhood group helped to fund a planting around the sign, and the sign is new as well. All those little things made a big difference. It has taken upon myself to pick up trash at the park. So I do that every day, most every day, yeah. And I usually accumulate like a shopping bag full of trash almost every day.
She rolls up her sleeves and marches in and gets started, and it really inspires other people to do the same. Just with her quiet little voice and all the energy in the world. It's amazing.
This is where my granddaughters live, and I wanted to make a difference for them and for other folks who live here. Without the support for the neighborhood, it would never happen. People have really been supportive, and I'm very thankful to live in this neighborhood.
I see things as opportunities, and then I see people as instruments to making those opportunities happen.
The first time I met Eric was at a Vestal neighborhood meeting, and I could tell that he had the respect of his neighbors, and not just because he had authority, but because he had put in the work to earn it.
When we recognize the value of other people, they get motivated and interested, and then that's when great things happen. It's like a geyser, you know. You got all this energy and pressure below the surface of the ground, and somebody like taps the ground, and all of a sudden this energy comes up, and all these great things happen.
The first district has 10 active neighborhoods. When I think of all those neighborhood leaders, Eric definitely bubbles to the top. And so, not just for the work he's done in Vestal with the park, different greenways, helping with safety and beauty, just making Vestal community better.
I was fascinated with Goose Creek the minute we moved to Vestal. You couldn't even see the creek from the street. People weren't walking along the greenway over all kinds of safety reasons. The greenway had a dead end. We got Dewar's Construction to extend the greenway. Tommy Smith got the city to construct a trail, so now you can walk from the Vestal Village at Vestal Gateway Park all the way to Fort Dickerson, and people love it. It's just delightful.
Commitment to being there for lots of hours, lots of conversations, and seeing things through. Eric's not just impacted Vestal, he's contributed to all of the first district.
When we express gratitude toward that person or those people that did this work, it's almost like we're multiplying the impact of improvements to the community.
My grandmother, I call her my sparkly grandmother because she always had some sort of sparkle or jewel or something. It always had to have some sort of pizzazz to it. She was just that fun grandmother. You know, we loved to go shopping together and just get into adventures. Norwood, that's where she lived, and that's where she really had roots, and she really cared about, you know, her neighborhood. If someone new, you know, moved in the neighborhood, she wanted to get to know who they were. She was the life of the party, for sure. She loved talking to people. She loved making friends, loved planning National Night Out. She loved getting a big crowd together and just, you know, that energy. She thrived on the energy of other people. I think it was all about community building for her. I think, you know, bridging those connections between the neighbors and the law enforcement, really devoted a lot of her time to making sure that law enforcement officers were being taken care of and that, you know, the community that she lived in was safe. She did teach 911 safety training at Safety City for many years. She loved kids. She loved being in the classroom and asking them questions and walking them through what they would do if they're in a dangerous situation and have to call 911. It's one of those field trips that my kids looked forward to in second grade. They're like, we get to go to Safety City and see Mimi. She loves seeing the grandkids and great-grandkids and, you know, the things that they're passionate about. I want them to remember her energy, the love that she had for the people that she was around, what an impact she had on everyone that she met.
When we moved here, we didn't know anybody. We started completely from scratch and have built up lots of wonderful, really meaningful, great friendships in the neighborhood. When new people move into the neighborhood, one of my goals is to help them feel welcome.
Amy was the first person that came to our door when we moved into this neighborhood. She knocked on our door and introduced herself. This pocket park that we're in right now, I think she's been involved in since before I even moved into the neighborhood.
This park used to be jointly owned by 32 homeowners. I was one of those 32, and so that was something that kind of united these houses because we were all trying to figure out how do we keep up with this park. We kind of worked with other leadership within the neighborhood to kind of figure out, do we want to donate this piece of land to the city? A lot of paperwork, a lot of legal stuff. That was a big, you know, community rallying part of, you know, transferring this property to the city. We identified, like, here are some play structures that we think can fit in the space. When we first looked at that price tag of like pretty close to $25,000, it was just like, oh, how are we gonna do that? And that was a lot of people's perspective, was just like, yeah, I'll see, you know, when pigs fly. Our next door neighbor for the neighborhood is Highland Cemetery. That business donated, was like our first like big donor. And that really helped people believe, like, okay, like, people will actually contribute to this project. We kept getting a few more donations and a couple more businesses were contributing, and we got a few larger donations, and then it all just kind of fell in. So it's just kind of like you have to look at it like a pie, and you have to just kind of focus on each little piece, and then all the pieces will come together. We met the goal of the $25,000 within a year.
She is just a really great neighbor and part of the reason that this Forest Heights neighborhood has such a strong community.
It's so much exponentially better to be in a neighborhood where you feel community and you've got those bonds with your neighbors.
I've always said to be a good neighbor, you have to have great neighbors, and we are blessed in historic Portonville with that.
I think Jeff is the epitome of a good neighbor. He's out here in the evenings. People want to come up on this porch and chat with him. And he listens and talks, but he listens probably a lot more than he talks.
My thing is I do love people, and I love bringing people together, and it's just my thing.
I'm kind of one of those people that jump in, like Jeff. Okay. Yeah, Jeff jumps in.
It took me a few years after living here to realize how involved our neighborhood organization was. I mean, I knew there were events and things, and I would go to them, but I didn't really know the inner workings of all of it.
He and his partner, Chris, basically pretty much single-handedly pulled the 2022 Tour of Homes together.
2022, we had a very successful tour. We had approximately 600 people show up for the tour itself. I think everybody was just so excited that things were getting back to normal. Not even just our neighbors, but our guests. Lots of people like to know what's going on in the historic districts and just like to look through there, and you become known as as a place for information.
Jeff and Chris are pretty much always out here on their porch. People just love to stop by and visit because he makes people feel good and feel welcomed. He certainly made me feel welcome when I was first here.
Get involved. do it. No, it's fun. It's rewarding. It's a great way to get on a really personal level with your neighbors, with your neighborhood.